Hey, welcome back to Taking Trades. If we haven't met, my name is Jimmy, and I started this YouTube channel as a way to show live trades to new traders so that they could kind of get a feel for the price action and maybe a little glimpse of some of the emotion that's involved in day trading. We're totally dedicated to the topic of day trading, so if you're interested, I encourage you to subscribe, and let's jump into the day. So today is January 18th, 2019, and it was a really exciting day for me, and I'll tell you why. I had a green day, but I also had a big trade relative to the last couple of weeks. So I was really excited. I was watching the natural gas fund /NG starting about 5 a.m. this morning, and I watched it up until the beginning of the open of the market at 7:30. And I just saw a real clear and defined trend to the upside. So in that case, I started looking at UGAZ, which is the ETF that follows the natural gas fund. I was also looking at DGAZ, the inverse ETF, just to kind of be aware of it. But ultimately, I ended up taking a trade on UGAZ and then literally letting it sit for about 2.5 hours. And I would just move my stop up as the day progressed, and the trade went really, really well. And I'm using sort of the techniques that I had learned earlier in the week. I've recently had some more realizations about placing hard stops and just trying to take the emotion out of when do I exit my trade. When it goes against me, I don't want to have to think about it. I just want it to be automatic. If it goes against me and stops me out and it was premature, you know, I feel okay just jumping back in. I'm not gonna really get hung up on that. I know it creates another commission fee, but I'm okay to handle that. That's not gonna be a big deal. But last night while I was reviewing some trades, I was going through sort of patterns and trends and looking at the ETFs, UGAZ and DGAZ. And the one interesting thing that I found was each morning when they open up, sometimes they'll move around and just kind of get cozy with what they want to do for the day. And then once they've decided kind of which direction they're going, they typically put in a couple of hours in one direction. And so I thought, you know, if I could back UGAZ and DGAZ kind of into a corner and figure them out as far as, you know, what are you doing today? Then I could place a small order and just let it ride and just see kind of how that goes. You know, set a stop where I have minimal risk, but tremendous upside, because if you look at the range on UGAZ or DGAZ, you know, there are days when I think I've seen DGAZ go up $10 or $11 per share in one day. So because it's a 3x ETF, and if you're curious to know more about 3x ETFs with UGAZ and DGAZ, you can check out Investopedia. And I can try to link below to Investopedia's webpage, and they can discuss a little bit more in depth about what those are. But anyway, I wanted to pick a direction, place a small order, put a sizable, good size stop that I'm comfortable with risk-wise, and then just kind of babysit it from time to time, like check in, you know, go do my thing during the day, come back, check in on it. I've got to stop, and then I even was thinking about putting a target to sell, kind of a stop order for, you know, if I hit $5 per share, should I have a stop order to sell? So those are things that I'm kind of kicking around. I'd be curious to know if any of you have had any experience with this, if you've taken trades where you've let them set all day. In the past, I've been a pretty quick in and out trader where I'll take a trade, maybe a minute or two goes by, maybe sometimes even 30 seconds, and then I'm out. So this was sort of a new style for me, and it was a fantastic experience, and things went really, really well. So I do want to jump into the trade video, but I do want to throw a shout out to my subscribers. I had a specific subscriber today recommend the Parabolic SAR, so thank you for that. It's an indicator that just sort of gives you an idea of whether we're uptrending or downtrending, who's in control, bears or the bulls. So it was kind of nice to just have it on my naked chart and just watch it a little bit, just kind of be aware of it. And what I noticed was, as I was trading and watching the price action, it seemed like my thoughts about the stock seemed to coincide with or being reinforced by the Parabolic SAR. So I think I found it helpful, And I'm really curious to leave it on my chart for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next Tuesday, and just see if that helps me out at all. If it gives me confidence for entries, or even maybe a confidence for when to exit. So anyway, I want to show you the UGAZ trade. I also want to reference, a couple days ago I talked about risk management and how important it is to cut your losers quick and to let your winners run. And the interesting thing about today was I took 2 losers right away in the morning. I took a trade in the pre-market, ended up getting stopped out. That was on UGAZ. Then I took a trade on DGAZ and got stopped out. And then I took my 3rd trade on UGAZ, finally got the direction correct, and off we went. And so, huge trade and for me, and I'm very excited because what that trade did was my 3rd trade made me profit, but it made up for the first loss and the second loss. So if you can manage your risk correctly and take small losses, then a regular winner, a good winner, will make up for all of that. So sometimes it might take you 3 or 4 tries to get things just right with an entry on a stock. But once you get it and you do it right, you know you're going to get the profit that's going to make up for, you know, a couple of losses that you had. So I'm excited to show you guys the trade, and let's go ahead and dive in, and I'll show you what I was thinking, where I entered. And I do want to apologize, I didn't film today's trade because it was such a lengthy trade. And in the future, what I think I'm going to do for the channel is, if I'm taking trades and holding them for multiple hours, I think I'll go ahead and film the entry point and I'll film the exit point. And in between, I'm just going to use a chart on Thinkorswim to show you specifics, so I can zoom out, zoom in, change time frames. But as far as the entry and the exit, I would like to film those and have those included in the videos. So comment below, let me know if you think that's a good format, or if you'd like to see some other type of format. But anyway, thanks for stopping in. Hit that subscribe button, give me that thumbs up, and let's dive in. Let's jump in. So this is ticker symbol UGAZ, as you can see. And so I didn't catch on video the entry or the exit, so I apologize for that. And like I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to start filming the entries and the exits, and then in between I'm going to show you my charts. I just think I can move things around and kind of explain things better. So first thing I want to start with today is, I was up this morning, like I said, watching /NG. This is a natural gas fund. And so here's the market open right here at 7:30. So I was watching it trend down, and then that told me that if that's trending down, that the inverse ETF DGAZ would be the way to go. So initially I took a trade on DGAZ. I got stopped out, like I mentioned, and then we see this bounce and things start moving up. So at that point I flipped over to UGAZ, the fund that follows natural gas, and I decided to start looking around and just try and see, you know, if we are in fact trending up, and if so, where would be a good entry point. So flipping back over here to UGAZ. So as natural gas trended up, you can see that UGAZ is also trending up. And I thought, okay, I'm going to wait for an entry. I got this new higher high right here. It pulls way back and comes up, sets a lower high. So then I'm thinking, okay, I don't know where we're going here. Then it comes back down here to this support level I had drawn in, and tapped it once here, tapped it again there, then came up, pulled back, and I saw this higher low, and for some reason that just, I don't know, that triggered me. I thought, you know what, maybe if we get a higher high, maybe I can go long. So as we hit these next 2 candles, and then this third one came out and pushed up, once this candle broke this high, and I saw it pushing up as if it were going to break this upper wick, I was counting on this being a higher high. So I decided to just take a small position and go in with 50 shares. Now, once that happened, I'm just going to kind of roll this forward a little bit. It pulled back on me, and what I had done was taken my position here, and I went ahead and put my stop right underneath this candle, this pullback red candle. And you notice I am on the 5-minute time frame.
I'm finding the 5-minute to be a little more clearer to watch visually for me, and just seems like it's a really strong time frame to watch. And one thing I do want to mention is you can see that I've got the Parabolic SAR on here. So just a quick explanation, and then I'll link that below, some more information about the Parabolic SAR. But if you look at this, if there are dots above your candle, that is a bearish sign. It means it's pushing down, or the trend is down. Now it takes into account a bunch of different things, and you can read more about that, and maybe I can even do a video on that, and we can talk about the Parabolic SAR. It just seems like an interesting tool. Then if you start to get dots below, that's starting to indicate that the combination of information coming into the system is indicating a possible bullish trend. So as you can see, as this pushes up, you get the dots underneath. As you get some pullback, you get the dots that switch above and push down, and they come out as the candles come out. So I took my entry, put my stop here, it pulled back, fine, pushed up, was in profit, feeling really great about it, pulled back. Once it pulled back and broke up, I went ahead and moved my stop from here up to here. So what I like to do is, anytime I get a new higher low and then I get a higher high, I like to go back and put my stop under that new higher low, just so I can keep incrementally pushing it up. That way, if it comes back on you, hopefully with enough legs up, you'll either break even or even come out ahead. So I put my stop, we moved up here, pulled back, moved up, pulled back, moved up. I started bumping my stop up. I think I put it here next, and then I moved it here, and we kept pushing up, and ultimately we were doing battle with this line I had drawn. Now, if I zoom out, you can see that that line that's looking to be a possible overhead resistance point is actually the low from the day before. So one good habit I would get into, that one thing I do, and you don't have to do this, but I mark out the low and the high from the previous day on my chart when I'm getting ready to trade for the day. It's really surprising how often that those two levels can have an effect on support and resistance throughout a trading day. And I've even seen some traders, and I've done this a couple times too, but go back even another day, the previous 2 days. Low, high, mark them out. And it's unbelievable how often it will play into your charting day. So give that a try. Comment, let me know what you think of it if you do try it, if it works or not. So then, let me zoom back in, but almost, there we go. So we're doing battle with this line. It breaks above, which is just great. Told me that we could possibly break through it and create a support level and bounce and go higher. So it pulls back, comes up, and then breaks. So the minute that happened, I was in a pretty good profit margin, and so now I'm starting to stop things really tightly. I then move my stop right here under this candle, that bottom wick. It moves here, pulls back, bumps ahead. We're clearly above this resistance line, so now it's support because it pulled back and didn't break it. Goes higher, and then this big thing happened. It pushed up and was hovering, and I got a little bit anxious because I was wondering, do I take profit because we're getting this huge pop? Should I hang tight and be patient? So I moved my stop, and I actually put it here. And as it started to go up and hang, I moved it up to here. And then I was getting really anxious, and I moved it up right underneath the candle. And I said, okay, if that candle goes red, then I want out. I don't want anything to do with it. And then it exploded, and I just couldn't tolerate it anymore. I grabbed my stop, I drug it right up here, and I dropped it right there. It popped way up, crashed down, stopped me out, and you can see I have 153.96 P&L on the day. But the beautiful thing is, I had taken a loss on UGAZ prior to this trade. So this trade overall was a gain of $186.50, and I took that loss. So this is absorbing my loss and giving me this profit. So super happy with it, and just reinforces that if I can manage my risk, I can accommodate multiple losers with one winner. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's something that's going to make you cry, because it made me cry. I sold, it pushed up again. I thought, oh man, that's a lot of profit I'm leaving out there. It pulled back. I thought, oh, okay, great. I got out in time. Fantastic. Boom. Look at that. From here, so I got it at 55.25. It went to 58.80. That's, I mean, I would have basically doubled my P&L. It was unbelievable. So this was overall a great trade for me. I feel really good about it. I'm excited about the Parabolic SAR. I think it's an interesting tool. I'm just going to kind of mess around with it. And if you guys are using it at all, please let me know what you think of it and how you're using it. I'd like to find different applications for it, whether people are using it for, primarily entries or exits, or just as like gentle guidance during a trade to give you confidence on whether or not you're in the right direction. But I'm going to focus this weekend. I'm going to review some trades. I'm going to do some back virtual trading, paper trading, to figure out if I can somewhat quickly identify what direction we're going, because these ETFs are amazing once they pick a direction. I mean, look at this. If I would have bought right here when that opened, that is the open of the day. If I'd have bought and placed a stop, I would have never seen that line again. I would have been in at 49.50 right in there, and this thing peaked out at 58. I mean it's over $8 in profit per share. It's unbelievable. So I'm excited to look into these ETFs a little bit, see if I can back them in a corner, force them to show their hand a little on maybe what direction they may go, then place a nice light order with a good stop loss and let them ride. So go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you guys traded today. I'm excited to hear. Thank you again to my subscriber who recommended the Parabolic SAR. I'm going to dive in and learn more. I'm going to link something below, whether it's Investopedia or some other resource, so that you guys can read more about the Parabolic SAR. But thank you for stopping in. Hit that subscribe button, give me a like, comment, and we'll see you Tuesday. Happy holiday.